Received Tuesday, April 18th at 2:29 a.m.
Hey Wes, I wrote this on the sidewalk. Hanging over the nighttime, small arms, black and white commodity, disappearing act, singing calamity. I can make history. I can make new smells, sounds, and shapes, new colors every day. No one knows the wave of a wand like me. Street level sidewalk prophet, screams of the audience deafen. Flapping wings, shuffle of a vacuum. The silent rush ascends the scaffolds. The silent rush bellows. All hallows, all hallows. Holding tank under red lights. Sinners all the same. Shadow of a fat man, jazz, light yourself on fire. A holy trinity, release us from our bodies. A jockey rides ahead, two visions, two spellings of the same thing. Holes filled under cold haunches. Things will pick up again in the morning.
Keep getting out there and doing what you feel. Don't listen to what everybody else says. Just do your own thing. Variety is the spit of life. Be in it. Don't wish you could be in it.
We were born to revolution. Invisible traces of lives gone wrong. Work is a jerk, laughing out loud, pushing buttons behind closed doors. A gambler picking his own pocket.
Father, you know we all need something. You know, half the time we don't know what we're doing. You know, there are millions of us doubtful characters drifting in the shadow-patched sunlight of the fragmented sky. Father, don't let us go. Don't forget us. Don't forget.
The screeching tires, the screaming mouths, the slicing sirens that all sound nothing like his laughter, and then the silence.
Ragionalo via senso tobali. Upapanno guna irishtai rupavana shvakovida. Atishtalman ujen rana murgideva patiryata. Upari sarve shamanchaiva tejasa. The origin of language is a very, very complex and multiplex thing, and nobody knows there was just one language on earth which then diverged, or whether there were simultaneous occurrences of many, many languages which then coalesced. This is one of the great mysteries of linguistics. In the old days, there was no writing, and people memorized endless poems like the great Greek epics, the Iliad and the Odyssey. Those were recited around a campfire.
From cages and zoos, we hear cries stolen from the wild, screams of reformed, hairless mammals as real as you and me.
The first chapter of in the Gospel according to John says, "In the beginning there was the Word, and the Word became flesh and dwelt among us, but we knew it not." And then this creature, which had it in it to become a human being, could have had divine inspirations and also underwent its normal evolution.
I was trying to count the hairs on my head. I was trying to make sense of all of this, visualize my neighbors with fur.
Animals with large brains, like dolphins and whales, are suspected of being able to communicate with each other, especially with radar and sonar.
I guess I was hoping to repeat the past, but my old face has become a blur. I guess I was hoping to find a possibility that lasts, but to pull meaning from the forgotten is as hard as remembering who I was to be in this life's future.
What Ralph Waldo Emerson said about language, that language is fossilized poetry. So poetry, again, is going back to the old days, if you will, that it's a live performance rather than a dead thing on a piece of paper.
The ridiculous notion of linear time, unmovable with no definite start or end.
Science is at its very, very early stages. Human history that we consciously remember is no more than 5,000 years. And in geological and astronomical terms, this is 1 second on a 24-hour clock. So we have a long, long way to go.
Even if you Frankenstein hack till you look like a magazine star, there's things you look like and there's things you are.
Baby, never. To all you hoes, you better get your shit together. I got it locked when I dip in the spot. The Empress better get down, ready chick on the block.
There are lots of poets, younger poets, who just love creating new language. And, the hip-hop scene is full of that, where people are stretching the limits of what language is.
American English is the fastest developing variety of English because of our enormous industry. Consider the computer industry. Why was the microchip invented? Texas Instruments and University of Illinois Urbana, right? And so the computer terminology the whole world uses is English.
We live in a time that's bubbling over with new ways of saying things.
I think maybe the technology that allows the globe, our world to become a global village, though, is good in the sense that people who are into the poetry scene can share ideas with the total global community.
Space a Euclidean or a non-Euclidean structure. Poetry is popular, more popular than ever before. More popular than poppies grown and was grown by the father of Mary Poppins, known as Papa Poppins. Almost as popular as poetry. Poetry about poppies. How do you think Dorothy met the Wizard of Oz? Anyway, it looks like I'm about to be kicked out of this high-end gallery I'm in. In fact, the end of this gallery is so high that it's Endsville, man. This is the end. Which place where I read my poems reminds me of the merry old land of Oz. Should I try to host an open mic on a Ferris wheel? In certain places they might not like my appearance, and others they might not like my apparition. Yuppies or highbrow types is a place of such prestige that's popular enough to be Endsville. But how many art lovers of this type of crowd would call it that? Unofficially, it could qualify as the longest poem in the English language. But the record I'm in, that's in the Guinness books officially, is main character in the longest movie ever made. The movie's 85 hours long. The movie The Cure for Insomnia itself